Welcome, everybody, to the Sales Unscripted podcast. My name is Brian Neal.
And I'm Margaret Henny. Why are we doing that?
We're here every week for your listening enjoyment. Glad that you're here. We're out of March Madness now. We did March Madness episode last time. We're going to do a little spring fling.
Yes.
'Tis the season. It's time. Midwestern people, we are
Come out from
done.
your hiding.
We're done.
Let's stop hibernating.
All over. Oh, my God.
I'm
it was snowing
so
today.
excited. No, it wasn't.
100% it was snowing. Yes, it snowed.
No.
You don't look outside. It was so bad.
Man, you always feel
So
like,
bad.
Okay, Midwesterners and Northerners, you guys will get this.
Yes, totally.
You feel like you made it, right? In
You
like
do.
kind of January
Get
and even
teased,
part of
yeah.
February, you're like, oh, it hasn't been that bad.
I know.
And then it keeps freaking going and you're like,
awful.
I'm going to kill someone.
It
We
was so
have to
bad.
get out of here.
So bad.
So yeah, it's almost spring, which makes me so happy.
Part of our topic, because we're going to talk a little bit about the good old-fashioned summer slump, like the front edge of the summer slump, and maybe even how to avoid that. So what did you just tell me? You're into cowboy hats now? Why are you into cowboy hats? Sorry.
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great transition.
I love it. You're welcome.
Okay, so we went on like a little spring break trip with my family.
Oh,
so
fun.
like
Where?
My dad and my brother and I, every year we go skiing together.
Just
the
the
three of
you?
us. Yep.
How fun is that?
We added some more family members on the back half of it, but
Okay.
the three of us, like, it's just we're so lucky because my dad is 71. He's in great health.
go.
He's an awesome skier.
Yes.
I mean, we just have a ball. So we went out to Salt Lake City area.
Oh.
We skied in Alta and Solitude. We did our very first private lesson. We've never done that before.
Why would you do a private lesson if you've been skiing for 30 years?
I'm so glad you asked because and she tells you this. She's like, hey, you guys all ski really similarly. You're very functional skiers.
Okay.
But there's some things you guys can do to get a lot better.
Is that kind of like her patting you, like patronizing you a little bit?
Kind of.
Like, yeah, you're nice functional skiers.
You're nice
Yeah, I mean,
functional
you can get along
you can
just
get
fine.
It down. You can get down anything, but it's not pretty.
It's not about getting down about it. It's about how you look. It's
Well,
about how you
because
look getting down.
we want to ski like harder
Knees
terrain,
together? Knees together?
more confidently.
Do you skate
Actually,
it anyway?
Believe it or not, you know
Not
it's
good?
crazy because we're always looking at people who have like
Lean forward.
you know, their legs really tight together. They're just like
And there's
whatever.
dancing, like, tap, tap, tap,
And
tap,
she's
tap,
like,
tap.
actually, some of that is like sort of old style skiing.
Oh.
You need a little space now for better balance. She's like,
Okay.
it looks really pretty,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily like what is like the best skiers are doing anymore.
Huh.
I know, isn't that crazy?
So I go back to snow plowing all the way down School Marm.
Not that far. School Marm is totally the name
Hell
of
yeah.
a run.
I know. I've been on it 100 times.
Oh,
I
that's
ski.
so funny.
Who doesn't know School Marm? Come on, man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Shh, all the way down. Dude, you
I
can do
know.
School Marm literally for like 4 hours.
That's so
You can snowplow
funny.
School Marm all the way down. Is that Keystone or Breckenridge?
Oh, yeah.
School
I
Marm,
think
which
it's
it's one of those two.
Breckenridge.
There's 4 o'clock run. That's where we go down to the bars.
so
Remember
funny.
those?
Oh yeah. Well, our favorite run at Alta is called the Three Bears.
Oh, that's fun.
It's
Is it
super fun.
Blue, black.
It's a blue.
It's a blue, nice
but you
blue,
kind of
heavy
like
blue.
dip into this little canyon,
fun.
and it's a little chute through the trees.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to do like quick turns and stuff, and it's so
the trees?
fun. What's that?
Through the trees?
Through the trees.
Helmets.
Oh,
Helmets on.
for sure.
God.
Helmets for sure.
I don't like you
helmets.
skiing through. Yeah.
No.
I'm a safety guy. You know this?
I do know this
Yes.
about you, actually.
Yeah.
Well, we look back at old pictures. Nobody skied with helmets. I
Right.
mean, nobody. Like us
I
growing up,
didn't. No.
there is no way. And then
No.
after a while, we're like, oh, yeah.
Oopsie daisy.
Like at one point, okay. So we also use this app. I'm sorry, a little bit more
We'll
about
get there.
skiing, and then
That's
we're going to get to
okay.
the
Yeah, yeah.
topic. We use this great app. I don't remember what it's called. Maybe somebody will know and throw it in the comments. And you can track, your altitude, how many runs you did, and you
fun.
can track your top speed. And our top speed, my brother and I, was 42 miles
That's
per
cooking,
hour.
baby. That's cooking, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's
Tucked down
like
and
being in a
going?
car, man.
love that, without a seatbelt
Which is
on,
why
right?
the helmet comes
Exactly.
into play.
Can you name famous people who died snow skiing?
Sonny Bono.
Sonny Bono.
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 Almost
That's Bono.
Bono. That's the only person I know. Didn't he run into a tree?
He did, yeah.
That's
and then
terrible.
there's another. Yes.
Natasha.
Who?
Natasha Richards or something like that.
What did she? Why is she famous?
was married to and was a wonderful actress herself. Who's that nice man who's like, I have a very like particular set of skills. What's that guy's name?
Stuart Smalley?
No, he was in Taken. And
I'm not a movie guy. I mean, I'm an 80s movie guy.
Someone is screaming
I know.
at us
like,
right
you know
now.
What? Don't you hate when that happens? When you know people listening are like, oh my God, how does she not know
He
that?
was married to this very
Natasha?
nice
Oh, that
woman. And
sucks.
she fell. She hit her head. She thought she was fine.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Was
that she
not
wasn't fine.
I know,
Yeah,
so sad. So helmets.
And isn't there was also the F1 racer, didn't he get paralyzed in
I don't know.
Not Hamilton.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Something like that.
Like you're a race car driver, which is like wildly
no
dangerous, and then you hurt yourself skiing. Oh,
skiing, I love skiing. Isn't it fun?
It's the best.
Oh my God, it's so
I feel
fun.
like my most me when I ski.
Oh, do you really?
I do.
I just feel so chill.
I
feel good because you're getting exercise, you're out and about, it's sunny and all that stuff. We're sunscreen up there. You're
so
right
much.
next to the sun. Oh
Are you seeing a little? You probably can't see it right now. I have a little bit of my raccoon eyes.
Face. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We got to get to the topic.
Spring has sprung.
Yes.
You can spring ski if you want, right? Ski in a t-shirt. We're not talking about that. Oh, one more thing about skiing.
Please.
Well, when I started skiing, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
I skied in jeans.
Of course you did. Like that actually.
I have a picture of me skiing in jeans.
Of course you
And
do.
I look really cool actually because I have like a turtleneck and a Stanford sweatshirt on and jeans, my hat backwards. Actually look pretty
That
cool.
actually looks pretty sick.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're skiing in jeans, that means you're super confident that you know what you're doing because you're all
or
about
you just have a
falling.
cold, wet butt all
Or
day.
You've never been skiing. Oh, I got another snow skiing story.
Shit, dude, we gotta go. One more.
Okay, so we went to Wolf Creek Pass. It's in southern Colorado.
Yeah.
Wolf Creek Pass, southern Colorado. I'm with my buddies from college. It's Thanksgiving-ish time. Really good skiers. I'm pretty good, but I'm not
functional.
But I'm functional and get down the hill. Not double black diamonds. My buddies are, so they take me to this lift. I'm like, you guys, I don't want to go get stuck up there or whatever. Like, come on, go to this place. Of course, we get off the lift, turn around, boom. Thing is literally like straight down the side of a building, and I'm like, oh my God.
It's like devil's ball
and
sack.
Then it totally and then it like flattens out when it's down, but on the way down, I'm like, oh my God. So my boys go down, and I'm like psyching myself up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, right?
Got it.
So I get going. I'm taking some big turns to control my speed, whatever.
Good.
I get about 2/3 down. I'm like, I got it now. So I'm like, and I see them. They're standing there, and they're making fun of me kind of for taking so long. I'm like, okay, F them. I'm going to go spray them. So I get going straight down, probably 42 miles an hour.
I see where this is going.
Boom! Wiped them out completely.
Oh!
I sit up. It wasn't my friends. It was a guy and his wife. I'm like, he's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I'm so sorry, sir. My friends had skied over there dying laughing. He's like, I'm going to have you kicked off the mountain. I'm a nice guy.
Dude, that's so
I'm like,
dangerous.
I'm so sorry, sir. I thought you were my friends. What do you mean? You got to be in control of yourself out here. I'm like, I know, sir. It was awful.
No, that
totally
is
wiped him and his wife
so
out.
bad.
Totally peeled them out. Right out of their skis. Like, imagine just standing there and some asshole just comes. And I was coming at him. It wasn't like I was
That happened to my dad before.
Oh my God.
He got wiped out by some dude.
It wasn't an accident.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No, Brian.
Just brutal.
Oh, that is
Just
bad.
brutal.
Okay, I'm glad you told that story.
Oh my God. Okay, let's get to the topic. Spring.
Okay,
so
spring.
Summer
Spring's
slump
coming.
comes. So what should we do? It's almost spring.
Yes.
We want to avoid summer slump. We want to go with momentum.
Yep.
Some of my clients are both. Some start quick. First quarter's over now. Some starting slow.
Totally.
What do we do? What do we do?
Yes,
Talk
yes.
about that?
Well, and I think it's smart just to, first of all, acknowledge summer slump because I don't know about you. I forget about it every year until people start being like, we're going on vacation for the next 2 weeks. And then you're like, holy shit, it's like being in, Thanksgiving, end of November, December time again. So just be prepared for it because now we can kind of combat that. If we're like, okay, we know it's going to happen. People they're going to be on vacation. They're not going to be in the office as much.
Yes.
Maybe they've got, some people have summer hours. They're leaving early or whatever.
All the above.
So, yes.
So I liken this a bit to, I never thought about this till we're doing this today. This is a little like the end of year selling. Like we're preparing for something. So how do we gather momentum? So one piece of advice I'd give people now is you got to take inventory. Your first quarter's over. It's over.
Yeah.
And second quarter has already begun. It started in February. It's March because you have a selling lead. So you got to take inventory of like really where you are with your funnel. And this is a great time to adjust any sort of outbound behavior that you've been doing and really examine what's left in the funnel and do what we call it BZ in the Blind Zebra Sales Operating System. We do a funnel clean out.
Oh, okay.
So it's really important to do a funnel clean out. So what you're doing there is you're taking a very objective look at what's in your funnel. Because what's happened is people have been working the same deals through the first quarter, and then some are still sitting there, and you're going, oh my God, and they've been taking up space. So you got to clean space. Space gets filled, so you got to clean those out. Close lost them, get them out, send a no thanks, we're done letter or whatever you want to do there. Close the file. and clean it out. And that will create two things. One, it'll create objectivity, it'll be a real funnel. But two, though, you'll be like, oh shit, I don't have as much going on as I thought.
I was just going to say, right? I'm like, so this cleans it up. So you're like, oh, wow, exactly. I don't have as many opportunities. Totally. I definitely started have to outbounding.
Totally. Yeah, we did this at the end of last year. We went from 25 or 27, whatever the number was, open opportunities down to 7. Because you think, and the others were going, but they weren't going. There was no like mutual timeline agreement. They were sort of stagnant. Mm-hmm. We end up cleaning them out, and then you're like, holy smokes, we don't have what we thought we had. And we're super scoreboard obsessed here, so but then it worked. Then we get going again. Next thing you know, here we go. We got now we got a almost full class for April. And that came from that behavior. So if you want to avoid a summer slump, get clean on your funnel now and get your prospecting butt out of bed.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, and especially I think people really hit the prospecting hard in January, right? Or you're like, hey, those deals that you couldn't get quite over the line, you do that then. And then that is what you're working January, February, March. Yes. And I can almost guarantee you're sitting there and have done very little outbounding over the last 3 months.
For sure.
And so we got to get back on that.
For sure, you got to get on that. Another thing to avoid the summer slump, I'd have you examine your social media presence, especially on LinkedIn, because a lot of people, again, they come back, they're a little sluggish. They make a New Year's resolution, like, I'm going to be great on LinkedIn this year. And then you're not. And that's going. And then you're sitting, I had a guy say this to me yesterday or day before, whenever it was. He's like in the job market. He's like, I wish I would have, fill in the dots. I wish I would have built my network more or sooner. I wish I would have been more active on LinkedIn before I needed it. So no matter where you are, you can always restart.
That's a great call.
And so I'd have you absolutely get back in the game on LinkedIn just to give yourself a chance to be found, noticed, seen, all those other things, and bump into people. Because I bet you, to your point, Margaret, that people have like worked the deals and not prospected. I bet they haven't done LinkedIn like they should too. And you know who I'm talking to. They're listening like, oh, that's me. That's what I do, right?
I'll give you another one that's a little bit more tactical. Tell me if you agree with this or not.
I do.
But for the summer, I would think about trying to set your meetings with people and your follow-ups or whatever with them on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in the morning. Because I think if people do have summer hours, they're going to be skipping out later in the afternoon. They're taking Fridays and Mondays off or whatever, and then use those for other follow-up time and task, right?
Great.
Cleaning out your funnel, sending some emails, that sort of thing. But in terms of those meetings to try to reduce no-shows or cancels,
that's great.
I would go right in the middle of the week in the mornings.
Let's do it. Three focus days. That's what I run. My calendar, 3 focus days, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Thursday.
Thursday.
True? Really?
100%.
You do it like that?
Yeah. I do a buffer day on Monday and either a buffer free on Friday.
Yep.
It's really great. Sounds like we're in France. 312s. Don't they work like 30 hours in France and take off 6 weeks in the summer?
In the summertime, everyone's like,
and
it's
they still
August.
need a union. I know. I'm on holiday. We're on holiday.
We're going
to
Spain.
Country shut down.
You're like, what? Who's running things over there?
Literally, I'm telling you. I think that's a really good idea. Actually, I love that. So I'll add to that a little bit. My old, not old, like age old, like how old he is guy, but coach I worked with for a while, David Meltzer, talks about being a student of your calendar.
Yeah.
I've learned to do that. I study my calendar. What most people do is they study their calendar for the week. They look at this week.
I totally do that.
I want you to study July,
Whoa.
study August, study June. Do you have vacations planned already?
Yeah.
We've got 2 family reunions. We've got the 4th of July week.
Totally.
I've got a thing for football. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Memorial
Day's
there.
So
coming
I'm looking
up.
at May, June, July, August. I'm like, okay, my selling time is compressed.
Yes.
Already.
That's
and so I've got to look at that and go, oh, dang, I don't have all the time that I thought I had because I've got all these vacations. So then you start to plan pre and post sort of things.
Yep.
To your point about setting meetings, if I've got future, instead of me waiting, I go ahead and set a meeting for when I'm back from vacation in June. I could set a meeting right now.
Yeah.
Here it's March 20th
of course.
For June, right?
I like
back,
that.
Right? It's nice.
That's good. Okay.
What else?
That's it. I don't
know.
Got
nothing else? You're all done. When Margaret snorts, it's time to be done. Can I give one more?
Yeah, please.
I'd also have you think about your attendance at events through the summer.
Oh.
So again, we all tend to vacation a bit. So while our customers may be like lagging Monday and Friday, we might lag Monday, Friday. You go to your lake house or someone else's lake house. Always better if someone else's lake house instead of your own.
Then you have to clean
always. Do you guys live on Monticello or on
my parents do.
But on the lake though.
Yeah.
They live on the lake.
They do.
That's fantastic.
It's wonderful.
Did you grow up on the lake?
I did.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
It was so fun. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
I loved growing up in Monticello. Tiny, small town, not a whole lot to do, but we had a blast.
There's a really beautiful lake there, and you live on it. That's great. Yep. So, what was I saying? Oh, if you're thinking about your own stuff, what was I saying?
Okay. Lake house, you're coming back Mondays and Fridays, not as much. And we were doing meetings or coffees. Was it something about coffees?
Outreach. Yeah, sorry.
I knew you'd get there.
Sorry, thank you. Networking. Yeah, connecting. So go ahead and be more active and intentional about your networking and connecting.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you'll be, again, Mondays, Fridays off, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday sales calls. You'll abuse, not on purpose, but you'll slack off in your networking and connecting.
That's good.
People tend to heavy that thing up in Jan because they can't get sales calls because people are busy. Do more connecty work now. Connectors, I heard the guy say this today. He goes, what's great about connecting is almost everybody says yes to it. Especially because they're usually people that you know. It's a really good thing to do through the summer to make sure that those connections stay stoked so you can help them, and then also in return they can help you.
Totally. So and one of the things I love about, because we've got longer daylight hours, right? I love like a breakfast meeting with somebody in the morning, right? Because if you're worried about taking up your day or whatever, or they are, it's like, hey, let's meet real quick for like, an 8 o'clock breakfast or, whatever, or 4 o'clock beer, whatever the thing is.
Rosé all day. Rosé on the deck. What are we talking about?
God,
right?
that sounds so good.
Doesn't
can't wait for
we have a deck here
drinks.
on top. We do.
I
on
know.
Top. Have you been up there?
Yeah, but I don't think anything was happening before.
Okay, we'll make something happen next time. We'll be there.
Happen.
We'll do the podcast from up there.
Rosé.
We'll carry all of our shit up on the deck.
Happening.
Exactly. What are you doing? Drinking rosé? Oh, something's happening.
Something's here,
happening
as I see.
Blind Zebra World headquarters. So, yeah. So this is early talk for Summer Slump, but I think it's really good.
I think so too.
Great,
Get prepared for it.
Things to start doing it, and look at your calendar. Schedule meetings now, networking meetings, all those things, and that will just help you, get through those summer months because then we're going to blink, and it's going to be August. Then it's football season. Then it's Thanksgiving.
Then we're getting ready for the holiday slump. So,
there we go.
Yep.
So,
all
good
right.
stuff. All right. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.